Welcome students. I have already explained some basic concepts of macroeconomics. Today I am discussing with you another concept, stock and flow variables and circular flow of income into sector economy. The concepts of stock and flow. In economics, we use two types of variables, stock variables and flow variables. Firstly, I will define stock variables. A stock is a quantity of any economic variable which is measured at a particular point of time. For example, 100 crores population of India in 2001, total capital of rupees 5 crore of a firm on 31st March 2010, stock of raw materials in the godowns of a factory on 31st March 2010, etc. The flow concept. A flow is a quantity of an economic variable which is measured during a period of time, say a week, a month, a year. For example, monthly wages of a worker, the per hour speed of a train, production of cloth during the year, etc. The basis of distinction between stock and flow is time dimension. A stock does not have a time dimension, it is a timeless concept. On the other hand, a flow necessarily has a time dimension. Some examples of related stock and flow are given below. Look at this picture. The water which is in the tank is a stock, and the water which is flowing into the tank through the tap is a flow. Some examples: the level of water in the tank is stock. Amount of water entering into or draining out from the tank is a flow. A person's wealth, income and expenditures are flows. Number of employed people is the stock. The number of people losing their jobs or getting jobs is the flow. The amount of capital in the economy is its stock. The amount of investment is a flow. The amount of wheat stored is a stock, and the amount of wheat produced or sold is a flow. The amount of bank deposits on 31st March 2010 is a stock. The change in the amount of bank deposits during 1st April 2010 to 31st March 2011 is a flow. Difference between stock and flow. On the basis of meaning, stock variable refer to that variable which is measured at a particular point of time. On the other hand, flow variables refers to the variable which is measured over a period of time. On the basis of time dimension, stock does not have a time dimension, while the flow has time dimension as its magnitude can be measured over a period of time. Nature of the concept. The stock is a static concept. On the other hand, the flow is a dynamic concept. Examples. First, population of India as on 31st March 2016 is a stock concept. Total number of cars in Delhi is a stock concept. Money supply is the stock concept. National wealth is the stock concept. Quantity of rice stored is the stock concept. On the other hand, number of deaths during 2016 is a dynamic concept. Cars manufactured during January 2016, flow concept. Expenditure or transactions in money, a flow concept. National income is a flow concept. Quantity of rice produced is a flow concept. Factor of production and factor income. Factors which help in the production of goods are called factors of production. They are also known as inputs, and whatever they produce are called output. There are four major factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Number one, All natural resources are termed as land in economics. Number second, all persons who perform physical and mental efforts and activities with the view to earn income are called labor. For examples, workers, teachers, advocates, technicians, etc. All come under the category of labor. Number three, the part of wealth which is used for further production of wealth is called capital. For example, machines, tools, implements, etc. The entrepreneur is one who runs enterprise and keep the production processing going. He hires the other three factors of production and organizes them for production. Household in the economy, the owner of the factors of production, they provide these factors services to the producer and in return receive incomes. The income received by them for their factors services are called factor incomes. For examples, remuneration of landowners is called rent, to laborers is called wages, to the owner of capital is called interest, and the income of the entrepreneurs is called profits. Thus, rent, wages, interest, and profit are factor incomes from the point of view of household. On the other hand, these are termed as factor payments from the producer's point of view. To be more precise, land gives us rent, labor gives us wages, capital gives us interest, entrepreneur gives us profit. Now, the next concept is transfer incomes or payments. The payments which are made to the households, enterprises, and non profit institutions without rendering any productive services are called transfer payments. They are the payments made or the amount received without making any corresponding contribution to the production of goods and services. That is why they are called unilateral payments. For examples, old age pension, unemployment allowances, scholarships to the students, government subsidies, gift donations, etc. All are called transfer payments.